Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back out with another video for you guys, and I'm back with the final episode talking The Flash. I know I'm a week late, but I was super busy the last week. Fun fact, last week I actually went to Vegas. Now I did watch the episode when I was in Vegas, but the thing is, I didn't do a review on the episode the night later, the night after it, or even entirety of last week because I was in Vegas. And two, I was kind of lazy. So this week, I'm going to review it. Two, also, if you guys didn't know, if you missed any part of The Flash this season, and you can't get on the CW and access any episodes, well, I guess it's kind of honorific that I'm reviewing the season finale of season 7 of The Flash, because The Flash season 7 is now officially on Netflix, which is actually pretty damn quick. Typically, it takes The Flash a while after a new season or any of the CW DC shows, a few months for it to get on Netflix, but just like that, only a week after the season ends, it's already on Netflix. So hey, that's shocking, especially from a Netflix standpoint, because Netflix, they take months to put on stuff on their streaming website. But yeah, if you missed anything of the season, well, you can go watch it on Netflix. But yeah, if you're, I bet you were wondering why I didn't review The Flash, I'm not going to do that. I'm always going to review the season finale. But the season finale I thought was pretty good and a solid way to end what I would say was an okay season of The Flash. I would definitely talk about my ending thoughts of season 7 of The Flash. But last week, we all know that Barry essentially went into August Hart's mind, and then he was confronted by August Hart in the Godspeed costume. So essentially, we get a conversation between Barry and August Hart, or Godspeed, and essentially we kind of found out in this conversation of the fact that, well, we found out that August wanted to be faster than essentially the speed of light, and essentially that's when he came with the velocity formula. And when he did that, yes, he got fast, but he wasn't fast enough. Not, I guess you can say, the fastest person on the planet. And essentially we kind of find out that August Hart wants, well, like Barry, XS, or Nora, and even Impulse, Bart. He wants organic speed. And if organic speed, he can be the fastest speedster, I guess, in all of time, and stuff like that. So essentially, he's like, Barry, you're not going to hand me over to the Godspeeds. I know at the end of the day, you're a hero and you're going to give me some organic speed. So till then, if you're not going to help me, get the hell out of my head. So that's what happens. He forces him out of his head and everything. I'm going to get through some of the side plot stuff, the Kramer stuff. So we find out we see Joe about to get essentially vibrating hand impaled by a Godspeed. But Kramer actually saves him, and she uses speedster powers to do it. So when I first watched the episode, I thought, I'm like, is she some sort of speedster? But at the end of the episode, we find out that she's actually a metahuman that, based on a certain circumstance, if she's looking at that meta, with she's able to access that meta's powers in a time of need. And that's how she got out of there. And that's probably how she survived that one incident with one of her old comrades, because her old comrade had like crazy self-regenerative healing powers, and what happened is she probably ended up dying, but she got a look of his power, of his meta abilities, and well, guess what, she must have re-healed and got out of there safely when it looked like she was dead. So she kind of leaves. I don't know if Kramer's going to be in season 8, or if she's gonna be a returning character in the next season, but that side story was kind of interesting, to say the least. So yeah, it is what it is. I don't know if Kramer's gonna return, so yeah. And then another side plot is the fact that, well, I guess Chester kind of encourages Allegra to continue on and help fight for the city, Central City, and stuff like that. And yeah, so that kind of arc with Allegra in terms of the aftermath of her cousin's death, Ultraviolet. Wrapped up, I would say, nicely. Thank God they didn't make Allegra go on some sort of rogue act to try to get revenge on Black Hole for killing her cousin or something like that. It's like, no, thank God they didn't take that somewhere. Again, kind of also, again, like I said earlier and a few weeks ago, kind of building up, I guess, on this new romance angle they're bringing with Chester and Allegra. So, yeah, which, funny enough, Nora and Bart, they did mention the fact that Chester's one of the smartest people they know. They didn't mention that Chester is like some sort of, I guess, maybe hooked up to Allegra. Probably don't want to have like some sort of time paradox thing to where then they don't end up not hooking up because then they'll see it as like weird or something like that. But yeah, essentially what happens next is we get the team up of Barry, Iris, Nora, the Speed Force, or Speed Force Nora, Nora, Bart, and the returning Jay Garrick. Nora's Speed Force essentially gives them a nice little power boost in their speedster abilities, and that's when they all confront some of the Godspeeds. They take them out in their own individual ways. Pretty cool stuff. Bart had like lightning shurikens. I thought that was like probably the coolest thing out of everybody that delayed and showed off their powers. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Now, eventually what happens is they're not going down, and Speed Force Nora essentially has to leave because, essentially they're feeding off of her powers. So she leaves and she's gone for essentially the rest of the episode. So eventually the other Speed, sters leave and they get out of there. We see Cisco finally return in this episode. Cisco makes her appearance. He's not in this episode as much, but he and Killer Frost are here. They kind of help out a little bit, but that's kind of it for what they do mostly this episode. So then that's when obviously Nora and Bart are like, Dad, you just have to give August Hart a speed because we have no other way to stop him and stuff like that. And Barry's kind of reluctant, but eventually he gives in because at this point they have no other hope to win. So he gives August Hart his organic speed. And Cecile's trying to tell August, like, listen, don't try to go bad, don't try to turn evil, but August is like, I like being evil. And he's got his organic speed. He got the organic speed he wants. He zooms up. He calls the other Godspeeds. He kind of absorbs the other Godspeeds, powers. And essentially, he's now like the fastest speedster, right now. And essentially, Barry confronts him and he's like, Hart, you need to stop this. But obviously, Godspeed's like, well, if you want to stop me, then why don't you try and catch me? So the thing is, Barry came into this whole fight with a plan set up and everything. So he's chasing after Godspeed, but Godspeed's so fast that he can essentially appear in like almost two places. So it's looking like Godspeed's got the upper hand on Barry, and it's looking like he's about to kill him. But lo and behold, we see a returning character. Yes, the Reverse Flash shows up out of nowhere, and he's like saving. And he comes to save Barry because we know Eobard Thawne is the only person that wants to kill Barry Allen, and he's not going to let anybody else kill Barry and stuff like that. So even fight all. So Flash and the Reverse Flash are literally fighting alongside. Also, this isn't the Reverse Flash with Matt's face. This is the Reverse Flash with Wells's face. So they literally, like, in this fight scene have a legit lightsaber fight because Godspeed, he pulls like this lightning out of the sky and he makes it like a lightsaber, essentially. The same thing for Reverse Flash and Flash. They do it and they have a lightsaber battle like it's Star Wars The Phantom Menace and everything. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I'm like, now a lot of people say it was stupid at all. They're doing Star Wars things. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was a unique way of having a final battle. It made it entertaining. It made it cool as shit, to be honest, honestly. I thought it was actually pretty cool. It was a unique way than your typical use your speedster, run away. It was actually pretty nice and chill. A lot of people said like, oh, they didn't use much speed, but they kind of zoomed around while they were doing it every now and then. But it comes to the point where Eobard on stabs Godspeed to take him down, and that's kind of it. Now, Reverse Flash is like, now I can finally exact my revenge on you. Also, I forgot how they explained how they brought him back. Like, it had something to do with the negative, like Nora using the negative speed force, tapping into negative speed force to bring him back or something like that. So yeah, but Eobard Thawne tries to attack Barry because we know that Thawne hates Barry, and well, he totally like misses. Like, he misses from the jump. And he's not even close. And essentially we find out that Barry is faster than Thawne, like way faster. And he's faster like than ever before and stuff like that. And obviously Thawne's like, I will get faster than you one of these days, Flash! And then he just runs off. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Eobard Thawne. Maybe he makes her appearance in season 8, if season 8 is apparently the final season, because season 8 is rumored to be the last season. 9 out of 10 times, I'm just going to go into this season thinking that it's probably going to be the final season because, what is it, Candace Patton and even Grant Gustin, they've already expressed out they're kind of just done, and they just kind of don't want to come back to do it. Hey, listen, after some time, again, I don't blame them. After some time, has passed, like they've done this show like 8 years, 8 seasons. Like 8 seasons is a lot of seasons. And eventually after a while, doing the same routine over and over and over again does get tiring. It's like, you know what, I kind of want to go pursue something else in my life. Not to say that this wasn't great. This was something that helped me get to where I'm going to be later down in life. Hey, and look, the Cisco voice actor, the Cisco actor left, he left, what's his face? Wells' actor, he left, although I don't know if we'll see him again, but he left, Sometimes some people are just like, you know what, this was great and all, but I kind of want to move on to the other endeavors and stuff like that. So again, I can't blame them. So if season 8 is the last season, well, I'm guessing it only would make sense that Reverse Flash is the final villain of the Flash, because hey, he was the first one, now he's the last one. I'm guessing where maybe you erase him out of existence for good, but even then that would create some sort of time paradox or something like that. I don't know. Maybe if you erase him from existence at that one direct point in time, maybe I don't know. So we'll just have to see. The episode ends off with Barry and Iris essentially renewing their vows. And yeah, so we get no post-credit scene, no nothing. It's just, it ends off there. So yeah, that's kind of it. So yeah. I do think in that scene, the whole singing by Jordan Fisher, even though it was really good, singing by him because he is a singer, I thought it kind of, the singing, the song kind of dragged on a bit too much. And I was like, honestly, I'm kind of skipping this. So that's kind of where the episode ends. There's no post-credit scenes or what happens at. But yeah, so my thoughts on season 7 of The Flash as a whole. Other than really like the Cisco goodbye episode and then this finale to this Godspeed arc. Also, I forgot to mention Godspeed's in he's in prison too. So yeah, I forgot what prison they call it in the Flash world. So yeah, but whatever. But as I was saying, other than really like I said, the Godspeed arc, like the few episodes of the Godspeed arc, and that one Cisco goodbye episode, I honestly kind of thought this season was kind of lackluster, kind of underwhelming. Like, I will definitely say the season didn't start off too well. And when you get to the middle part of the season, other than the Cisco episode, it was kind of just a drag-on filler spot episode. But when you get to the Godspeed episodes, that's when the show actually picks up. So yeah, no, I know on the start of The Flash, it had a good start, and then when you get to the Forces storyline, it was kind of like, it's interesting, but it just didn't hit it for me. I know it didn't hit, the Forces storyline didn't hit for a lot of people. It definitely didn't hit for me. I wasn't feeling the Forces storyline. Like, I was like, I don't know. Like, I thought the finale to the Forces storyline was cool though, but still, I was like, oh, thank God it's over. Um, the one thing I will say about the Forces storyline is at least they made it relevant to where the Forces are actually relevant to the story in the back half of the season, and they actually keep those characters relevant. So at least that's one good thing about the Forces storyline, that they just don't totally drop these characters. They actually make references to these characters and stuff like that. So and then, you know, like I said, the middle in between, other than the Cisco episode one, which is like filler episode, like that one filler episode when there was no Flash at all, that was probably the worst episode of the season. Listen, season 7, I thought it was an okay season. Honestly, if you ask me, it was kind of an underwhelming season, to be honest. And again, listen, you know, the reason why it probably came out like this is, well, you can thank the virus. Listen, that's something you can't stop. You can't stop a literal worldwide pandemic. Like, the world was shut down and affected all this production and stuff like that. So you can't really you can't really blame the show too much in that aspect, because it was affected by a pandemic. Even still now, we're still affected by the pandemic, even though people, you know, clearly, I guess you could say, feel how they feel. Personally, I say either wear your mask or social distance or go get vaccinated. In fact, I'm going to get vaccinated this Friday. So for people who are happy, there you go. But those are kind of my inner thoughts of season 7. Like, honestly, I was actually like hooked on 100% legit when the Godspeed arc came. I also feel like they could have made the Godspeed arc a little bit longer. Like, take out some of those filler episodes and focus that on the Godspeed stuff. Listen, like I said, if season 8 is the final season of The Flash, well, then I will say it was a good run, just like I said with Arrow. It was a good run. And I'll say the same thing with Supergirl. It was a good run for Supergirl. So if next season is the last season of The Flash, well, hey, it is what it is. You know, actors want to move on. I have a feeling that it probably is going to be the last season of The Flash, because it seems like Grant Gustin, Candace Patton, it looks like they kind of want to be done with the show and move on to bigger and better things. I mean, again, like I said, I don't fault these actors. Eventually, you know, just being on these TV shows, doing these recordings for their show, eventually it's just a wear and tear on you, because like, these guys don't film in the States. They actually have to go fly up to Canada and film. So maybe they would have stayed longer if they had to say only if they filmed like in the States somewhere. But no, they actually have to go up to Canada and film and everything. And especially we know the difference between Canada and the United States in terms of their border and how they're handling the virus and stuff like that. Yeah, again, very interesting to say the least. But other than that, that's kind of it. So if you guys enjoyed this season, put down in the comment section, or did you not? Hit that subscribe button if you want to get more Flash or see other CW content, as well as get any other things that I upload to the channel. And when you do hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell icon so you're up to date with whatever I upload to the channel. Other than that, I'm the guy for. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night when checking out this video. Until then, guys, peace.